such as the National Sanitation Day exercise. According to the MCE, collective efforts and community cooperation are essential in combating sanitation-related diseases and promoting a cleaner environment. He made this appeal during the ongoing National Sanitation Day cleanup exercise.
Sanitation being the KPI of all MMDCs mandates us to be up and doing when it comes to sanitation exercises. So with GHOne North, we are very, very keen on it. We don't joke with it. It is very, very necessary for us to come together. Each and every person living within the municipality should come out whenever such exercises are being held, because one, you need to put our health conditions into consideration. Don't think with you not coming out, the place should be left as such. Once it is left as such, just bear it in mind that it is going to breed mosquitoes, which will in turn harm each and every one of us living around by making us attacked by malaria, which is not good for our health. So at least let's all be rational.
To partner in creating sanitation awareness in the country. Now, in line with President Mahama's declaration to keep Ghana clean, the GHOne West Municipal Assembly organized a massive cleanup exercise at Kotochi No. 2. Residents of all ages turned out in their numbers, armed with brooms, shovels and trash bags to support the initiative. There's more in this report.
According to the Municipal Chief Executive for GHOne West, Desmond Naisoa, countries such as Rwanda and Algeria have achieved remarkable cleanliness because of strong media advocacy on sanitation. He therefore urged Ghanaian journalists to also do same for Ghana, so the nation can also achieve success in maintaining cleanliness.
So we have to make sure that we will enforce the laws. We are not here to punish people just because of wrongdoing, but we just want them to also be part of it. Know that it is a shared responsibility. All of us would have to come together to make sure that we make Ghana a tourism destination.
The presiding member for the GHOne West Municipal Assembly, who also doubles as the assembly member for the Akotuchi electoral area, Emmanuel Amuzu, emphasized the importance of keeping the community clean. He said he specifically instructed his unit committee members to spread the word about the event to ensure the community understands the importance of maintaining a clean environment.
We used to beat gong or go to information center to inform the people. So I do that through my unit committee members. But late morning, as I came here, I saw that the information having gone through. But we have a lot of people that are helping this morning. So I know that through the information going out, next one, I'm sure the people will come out so that we'll do it and do it.
Residents who took part in the cleanup exercise also spoke to the news team.
First time, man, this is cleanup exercise, but maybe I am more energy. I'm deciding as I'm joining. So because Mr. Store has said, me one I clean, so maybe I got to see the clean. I think it's a very good idea because the environment is very clean. I'm very happy about it. Yes, I will tell everyone because it's a very good idea. We are keeping the environment clean. In the area, we are keeping it clean. At least all that cholera, malaria, everything. Fine, we will not be sick.
Still on issues related to the Sanitation Day, the Municipal Chief Executive for the Ayawaso East constituency, Abdul Ganiyu Ibrahim, has assured residents of the timely completion of ongoing road construction projects in the area. Speaking to constituents after participating in the National Sanitation Day exercise, the MCE said he has inspected the construction sites and engaged a contractor to expedite work on the roads. He reaffirmed his commitments to ensuring that the projects are completed to improve accessibility and enhance development within the constituency.
It was a show of community spirit and civic responsibility as residents of the Ayawaso East constituency turned out in their numbers to take part in the second edition of the National Sanitation Day exercise. The nationwide initiative seeks to promote environmental cleanliness and responsibility among citizens, while also fostering unity and active participation through communal labor. After leading his team in the cleanup, the MC, Abdul Ganiyu Ibrahim, assured the constituents of the completion of all ongoing road projects.
We have a project here under the Garage project. So this morning we went to that project and supervised it and make sure that the contractor is doing a good job for us. So Ayawaso is so happy and so good that we benefit under the Garage project, which Ayawaso is one of the best beneficiaries. Everything is going as the contractor promises. Today is one of the best days for Ayawaso East. Everyone is here to support and make sure we clean our community.
He also revealed that the assembly is intensifying its sensitization efforts, popularly among the youth, to combat drug and substance abuse, a growing concern within the community.
We are still sensitizing them. We go to the community to visit them and then talk to them that it's not good for their health, it's not good for the environment. So I believe with the sensitization, we'll get a good result.
The National Sanitation Day exercise continues to remind citizens of the collective responsibility to keep their surroundings clean, united and safe, step toward in building healthier communities across the country.
In a remarkable display of unity and determination, the Boko Municipal Assembly on Saturday, November 1, participated in the Keep Ghana Clean agenda, initiated by President John Dramani Mahama. This exercise came as a surprise to many, given the town's history of conflict, yet the residents showed resilience and commitments to the cause. Every corner of Boko was abuzz with activity as residents, including market women and men, turned out in large numbers to clean their homes, businesses and streets. The usually volatile town was filled with a sense of purpose and community spirit.
Speaking to the media, the municipal chief executive of Boko, Azunaba Isaac, expressed his gratitude to the people for their support and sacrifice. Despite the challenges they are facing, the people of Boko showed remarkable commitment to the exercise.
I take this opportunity to thank the people of Boko, especially the honorable assembly members who came out their numbers and who are also at their various electoral areas, ensuring that this day activity is carried on. I also thank the security agencies who are always with us. Any time we are undertaking such activity, they are always with us and they are here today to help us be able to do the cleaning very well. I thank the media too for coming. So it is all over the nation. It is not only in Boko, but you have left other equally important districts and you are here. I want to thank you so much for coming to cover this very important event for us.
Private organisation Ayaba Eco Clean Solution also joined in the exercise and used the opportunity to appeal to government for support, urging the government to consider their good work and provide them with the necessary resources to ensure the Upper East region remains clean.
Some time ago, there was no much peace, but yet we strive ourselves to make sure that we keep the place clean. Because stating that cleanliness is next to godliness, which is our motto too. So we are also hoping that our work, the government will find us due to give us the opportunity.
Assemblyman for the Pawega electoral area, Elvis Aguma, used the opportunity of the Keep Ghana Clean to emphasize the importance of maintaining a clean environment. He encouraged everyone to take ownership of the cleanliness of their surroundings.
It's good to clean your surroundings because if your surroundings is very dirty, if something is hiding there, you will be able to identify. So it's good to always clean your surroundings, and then it will also help your health. So I want to encourage the people of Boko and Kalwega, my electoral area, to always come out to do any another exercise that you are asked to do.
Though the rest of the Upper East region joined in the Keep Ghana Clean exercise, the Binduri district of the region was unable to participate due to the ongoing ban of motor riding in the area. The ban, which was put in place to address security concerns, made it difficult for residents to join.
Now, still on the National Sanitation Day exercise, Member of Parliament for Bibiani Ahioso Bekwai, Bright Asamoah Brefo, and the Municipal Chief Executive Sebastian Obeng have jointly led a massive cleanup at Seshe Bekwai in the Western North region. The event forms part of activities that seek to encourage communal participation in maintaining clean and healthy surroundings and efforts to promote environmental cleanliness and healthy living.
The cleanup exercise saw an impressive turnout of assembly staff, security officers, traditional authorities, local associations and residents. The Municipal Chief Executive, Sebastian Obeng, expressed delight over participation, but emphasized the need for all to see sanitation as a daily lifestyle habit.
They shouldn't let us organize sanitation day before they start cleaning their environment. When they do that, it means we are not going to embark on it and you have a sound environment.
Member of Parliament for Bibiani and Ahioso Bekwai, Bright Asamoah Brefo, expressed concern about the growing disregard for proper sanitation practices among some residents.
If you go to other jurisdictions like America or elsewhere, you cannot use a biscuit and throw the rubbish in the streets. As soon as you do that, you get arrested. I think we have to inculcate that habit in us.
On his part, Municipal Environmental Health Director Matthew Ninkon said the moment had come for residents to rekindle their communal spirit and engage in regular cleanup activities to prevent disease outbreaks.
We are telling them that this will not be the first and they should not wait that we will come and tell them that maybe the next month coming we are going to do the cleanup exercise before they come. It has come to stay with us.
One of the assembly members, Sahada Idrisu, urged shop owners, food vendors and commuters to desist from littering and poor sanitation practices within their surroundings.
Let's stay focused on issues of sanitation as the president of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs, His Royal Majesty Obuade Noche King Professor Odaifio Wellenchi III, has emphasized it's imperative for every Ghanaian to willingly and consciously embrace cleaning of their immediate surroundings without compulsion. According to him, a clean Ghana will undoubtedly attract more tourists, thereby boosting the country's economic development, which underscores the need for all and sundry to participate in sanitation efforts by the government. He made these remarks after leading a cleanup exercise in the region together with Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs.
The cleanup exercise, which was observed throughout the region, saw the president of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs and the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs participate in 3 different constituencies: Krowo, Lejokuku and La Dadekotopon. During the exercise, gutters were desilted and overgrown bushes were cleared. Addressing participants after the exercise, His Royal Majesty Obuade Noche King Professor Odaifio Wellenchi III reiterated the significance of a clean environment to economic development through tourism.
As we strive to make Ghana the top tourism destination in Africa, we must take sanitation seriously. No reasonable person will choose to travel to a country or a continent with great tourist attractions but poor sanitation. A clean environment is essential for attracting tourists, boosting the tourism industry, and increasing revenue for economic development.
The Nungwa area head of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Dr. Dela Kwampa, who mobilized church members to participate, encouraged other denominations to join in subsequent exercises, emphasizing that cleanliness leads to godliness.
It's interesting that as a Pentecostal church, sometimes we do healing at church, and then it's not all the diseases that are caused by demons. Some are caused by the environment. And so when we gather this morning to clean up, one want to say that this should not be a 9-day wonder, but we are educating the community and the public that they should just have a cleanliness, they should be sensitive to cleanliness, and they should stop littering the community. They should stop dumping rubbish in our...
For his part, the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Ahmed Ibrahim, expressed gratitude to all participants and promised to enhance logistics to all assemblies.
We are left with is to making sure that we are able to provide logistics.
there was a clear logistical challenge. We are not yet done with the purchase of dustbins, containers, boiler taxes, compactors, wheelbarrows, Wellington boots, shovels. There's a logistical challenge. That's the only challenge, but that cannot be blamed on the MCAs or the individuals. I think we as a ministry must carry that one on board.
The next National Sanitation Day is scheduled for December 6.
Meanwhile, local government minister Ahmed Ibrahim says government is in talks with the Environmental Service Providers Association, ESPA, to reconsider its decision to suspend operations over unpaid arrears and unfair cost recovery fees by the Metropolitan, Municipal and District Assemblies. Speaking on the sidelines of the National Sanitation Day, the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Ahmed Ibrahim, called for calm, assuring the public that steps are being taken to prevent any disruption to waste management services across the country. The Environmental Service Providers Association had earlier cautioned that without swift government intervention, Ghana could face a national sanitation and public health emergency.
I strongly believe if we put some few momentum in the procurement of or provision of some of those logistics, December's one is going to be a very good one. And I believe that is going to be somewhere 4th December. And that's going to be the Christmas cleanup. The president will be launching some sanitation equipment, and we must make sure we do provision of some of those things. Together with the MMDCs and some sector ministers that I mentioned earlier, we are going to provide some few straight lines to make sure that we are able to brighten, because a lot of people are coming, and tourism is our number 4 foreign exchange earner in this country. That should not be the responsibility of only the tourism minister. When ESPA issued their letter that they were giving ultimatum to government by November 7th, a lot of media houses were knocking my door to speak. I refused to speak. Because it wasn't that I couldn't speak, but I needed to engage ESPA. If there's a challenge, let's engage, dialogue, and solve it. So we've met them as a ministry. We've discussed a lot of things. I've promised them I'm going to meet other stakeholders and come back to them. So there will be engagement either tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
Well, let's stay on this issue a while longer. Joining us via Zoom is the Executive Secretary of ESPA. And she joins us via phone, that is Ama Ofori Entry. Good evening to you, and thank you for joining us here on News Tonight. Now, you heard Minister Ahmed Ibrahim. He has announced that the government is engaging ESPA to reconsider this decision to suspend operations. Can you clarify that indeed this engagement has commenced, and what specific commitments are you expecting?
Thank you. Good evening for the opportunity, and good evening to your cherished listeners. I thank you. I thank the Honorable Minister for his response. Honestly, I must admit that his response was quite rapid, and which shows that he's also committed to the issues. But again, our issue is very simple. We don't need assurances. We need resources to continue to provide our services. We need fuel. We need spare parts. We need to pay laborers. And as we all know, when it comes to the issue of sanitation, it's very expensive. It's capital intensive. So going forward, I think as a sector, we should correct the wrong, put in a system that payments do no longer delay. At least every quarter, with the kind of service they provide, they should be paid quarterly to sustain their work and then even sustain the business they are doing. But currently, the way the business is being run, at the end of the day, even by the time they are being paid, they have to pay so much interest on loans that they have, taken from their bankers, their suppliers, and what have you. So we do not want any assurances. We need the logistics to continue to provide a service for the good people of this nation. And as you all know, we do not intend to be confrontational with government. That is not our intention. But kindly, this is a genuine challenge. The sector is in dire financial distress, and we are pleading on government to support the sector. That is all that we are saying.
Now, I'm saying that you do not need assurance, however, commending the minister in the same breath for the assurance given. Is that to say that given that assurance the minister has provided, steps are being taken to prevent this disruption in waste management services, given the implications it's likely to have?
I just indicated that we need logistics to continue with our service. We are service providers. And with our service provision, we need the necessary logistics. We need the fuel. We need the special bulldozer. We need to pay the laborers. We need to do the fumigation. We need to do all these things at the landfill site. We need to maintain the treatment and waste plant facilities. Assurances would not sustain them. We need the logistics to continue to provide the services.
Right. Now, finally, are you confident that the government is going to meet this November 7, 2025 deadline?
I believe government would meet it.
Well, thank you for your time this evening. We certainly will engage you subsequently on this issue. That was Executive Secretary of ESPA, Ama Ofori-Entry, joining us on that. You're watching News Tonight here on GHOne TV. We bring you more news shortly. Hey, welcome back to News Tonight. Away from issues on sanitation, let's turn to education, as Minister of Education Haruna Idrisu has revealed that the government plans to allocate 300 million Ghana cedis in 2026 to end the double-track system in some senior secondary schools across the country. According to him, the double-track system has compromised the quality of education in the country, hence the need for infrastructure expansion to abolish it. He made these remarks at the launch of a book titled Reconceptualizing the Learning Crisis in Africa, co-authored by Professor Kwame Echampong and Dr. Sean Higgins. There's more in this report.
The book, Reconceptualizing the Learning Crisis in Africa, is as a result of intensive research in 3 countries, namely Ghana, Liberia, and Ethiopia since 2011. It notes that the current education policies in sub-Saharan Africa often rely on top-down, Western-inspired solutions that assume African classrooms are value-neutral without recourse to local realities, culture, and community knowledge. Speaking on the sidelines of the launch, Minister of Education Haruna Idrisu hints on the government's plan to substantially invest in educational infrastructure come 2026 to enhance quality.
For me, what's important is that there are many Ghanaian children in school who are not learning, but they are in school okay, but they are not learning. How do we improve community involvement? That's why we are reintroducing PTAs. Into 2026, under President Mohammed's research agenda, we are looking at spending some 300 million Ghana cedis, at least to end double track system, which undoubtedly has affected the delivery of quality education. I intend to work to convert 10 category C schools to B, 10 category B schools to A, and expand infrastructure and quality improvement in category A school.
Professor Kwame Achampong, co-author of the book, described the current system as a moral crisis, as many children are in school but are not learning.
The impact we want to achieve is really to ensure that the message of the book reaches policymakers, and they do not only hear the message but actually take steps to implement it. I think the problem is that we have to pay attention to many Ghanaian children who are not learning. It is our responsibility to ensure that they learn. And if we are failing to do that, this is what we are calling a moral crisis. And it's a social injustice because these are the children who need to learn the most. These are the children we have to make a commitment to make sure that they learn. So if we're not doing that, then it's our responsibility to take up the challenge and to make sure that every child is able to read and write.
The book concludes that achieving education for all in Africa requires a holistic approach to learning, rooted in the relational philosophy of Ubuntu, where learners are taught in their mother tongue in the first 3 years in school, with all necessary materials available.
Still on education, in a powerful demonstration of hope and commitments to Ghana's future, Africa Relief and Community Development, an American-based Islamic charity organization, has taken a bold step to uplift technical and vocational education across the country. The organization, in collaboration with the Ghana Technical and Vocational Education and Training, TVET, has completed the establishment of new educational facilities in the Bono East and Savannah regions. The structures not only meet national accreditation standards, but also symbolize opportunity, dignity, and a brighter path for the next generation. Salifu Adam Jabu files this report from the Savannah region.
Africa Relief and Community Development operates across several African countries and supports communities through projects in health, water, education, and disaster relief. In Ghana, the organization has constructed and delivered kindergartens, technical and vocational schools, and creches to expand access to education in underserved areas. The two-day inspection mission was conducted by officials from Ghana TVET's voucher program and representatives of Africa Relief and Community Development in the Bono East and Savannah regions to assess their readiness for accreditation.
We are looking at the Kaya girl. How do we ensure that our girls don't leave here and go to southern Ghana to engage in very dehumanizing activities, such as this head portraying, etc. Some of them get impregnated. Others, especially the male ones, unfortunately, join armed robbery, etc., and they get killed.
The exercise forms part of efforts to ensure that all technical and vocational training institutions meet the standards required by the Ghana Education Service and the Ministry of Education.
So how then do we make sure that they stay at home, work, acquire skills, and be productive to the country as a whole? So this project now gives them the opportunity, whether or not they've ever been to school, and that is where the uniqueness of this project stands.
The Ghana TVET voucher program, funded by the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, seeks to revolutionize vocational training by improving facilities, teaching standards, and employment outcomes for youth.
There's some project from us, that's donor give us the money, and we start for this one. We have having unit here like mosque, borehole, kids garden, elementary school, junior high school, senior high school.
Officials say the assessment is a crucial step toward obtaining National Accreditation Board approval, which will allow the government of Ghana to officially utilize these new facilities to train more young people for the job market. Salifu Adam Jabus reports for GHOne News.
A small farming community, once defined by deprivation in the heart of the Bono East region, is now rewriting its story through education. The residents of Kadelso are celebrating the commissioning of a modern educational complex that promises to open new doors for children and families. The project, funded by a US-based non-profit organization, Africa Relief and Community Development, is not just a school, it's a symbol of hope.
Kadelso, a modest, tight-knit community in the Kintampo North municipality, has long struggled with limited access to education. But today, its story takes a remarkable turn. Valued at $154,000, this state-of-the-art educational complex is the latest milestone in Africa Relief and Community Development's mission to transform lives through education.
We have MOU between us and the GHOne. Inshallah, we running everything and do everything together. Me and brother Ibrahim, inshallah, we have more work together in Ghana, not only this place, all regions in Ghana, inshallah.
The new facility features a kindergarten block, 3 basic education classrooms, and technical and vocational modules, all designed to nurture young minds and prepare them for future opportunities.
4 or 5 projects like this one, each project in 100 acres. Wow. Inshallah, we develop all people in Ghana, community, central region, eastern region, western region like this one. We have more like this one.
For Chief Abu Bakar Mbura, the moment is deeply emotional. He calls the new complex a beacon of hope, proof that education can transform even the most forgotten corners of Ghana. From a dusty village to a shining symbol of opportunity, Kadelso is rising. And for the children here, the school isn't just a building. It's a promise that education indeed break the cycle of poverty.
In other news here on News Tonight, the growing menace of drug abuse among Ghanaian youth has become a serious national concern, with many attributing the alarming trend to rising unemployment and peer pressure. In an effort to curb this disturbing development, the non-governmental Organization for Awareness and Literacy has organized a 2-day forum on the effects of drug abuse for the pupils at Kwashiman cluster of schools in Accra.
Drug abuse, a national canker eating at the valuable youth resource of the country, is being addressed on many levels in the country. The End Goal, a non-governmental organization, on its part, launched a 2-day Stop Drug Abuse campaign to educate students on the harmful effects of drug abuse. Speaking at the event, Assembly Member for the Kwashiman electoral area, Grace Anini, urged the youth to avoid peer pressure that could lead to drug abuse. She emphasized that while the government is making efforts to curb the menace, individuals also have a vital role to play in achieving a drug-free society.
So what's this to a branch here? What's this to a baba? Now, Bobra. I did find the drugs here. Me and Kawa Bravo. Say a branch, say a mabawa. Who will be or more jam. Not so drugs in a bravo in Ayabasa. At a real crampo. Washa, wouldn't I know what she knew why you put so? Yeah, but still, meaning is when you pay but when you ban what I say, I want to become this person in the future. So, when then you know to me, I say, one better better than
Addressing the media, an official with End Goal shared more insights on the purpose and importance of their campaign.
As a human being, don't think of you being employed by somebody. So it shouldn't be one reason why you involve yourself into the drug. And even if you take the drug and you are okay at the time, you are still unemployed. So it means that the drug is not even employing you at that point. So you should always learn to do your own thing, to get your own money, and then to fend for yourself and your family, because you realize that because of stigma, most of them are being thrown out of their houses. You are thrown out of your house, you don't have money, you are involved into drugs, and the drug is not also giving you anything.
A deputy NADMO director in Ablekuma North, Samuel Annan, also called on corporate Ghana to support the national fight against drug abuse.
What GHOne is doing today by coming down to the schools to talk to children so that we can imbibe in them, that I think is a very good cause. And I hope government and I hope other institutions will come on board so that together we can drive this agenda. Because if we are able to get these kids to be able to understand the harmful effect of drug abuse, I believe it's a preventive measure. We are not going to waste more money in future to cure such menace.
The campaign forms part of GHOne's broader initiative to promote health awareness and social responsibility among young people in Ghana. The forum was graced by medical professionals, politicians, teachers, and students.
Young Youth Advocates Ghana, a non-profit organization, is implementing a new initiative dubbed Youth Advocacy and Participation for Electoral Transparency in Ghana to enhance youth engagement in the country's democratic and governance systems to reflect future aspirations of the youth. The project seeks to equip young people, including women and persons with disabilities, with the knowledge, skills, and confidence needed to actively participate in political and civic processes.
The African Union's Youth Charter recognizes Africa's youth as the continent's greatest resource and envisions them as the driving force behind political transformation under the AU Agenda 2063. The AU has also called on member states to commit to youth representation in national and subnational levels to strengthen political participation. In Ghana, the 2010 National Youth Policy highlights the importance of empowering young people to contribute meaningfully to national development. Despite this, the youth, persons with disabilities, and women in Ghana continue to face barriers that hinder their inclusion in decision-making.
You want to contest election in Ghana, even at the district level, and you are not resourceful, you can't. Because everywhere you go, people demand money, they demand projects. Even when you have not been elected, they want you to execute projects in their communities. And so I think that one of the fundamental challenges that inhibits people from contesting the district level election is the money.
Basically, one I would say is finance. Because, I mean, the old folks, they've gone through the education system, they've worked, they've earned. So when they're coming on board, they're coming with, oh, vote for me, I'll do this, I'll do that. You have that trust in them because you know he or she is earning something to do what they are telling you about. But I'm a youth, barely a year or two after uni. A big job I don't even have. So the person I'm even trying to convince to vote for me will even doubt me.
If you are campaign, at the end of the day, so I wasn't interested in anything politics. And so maybe I've realized that the youth, when they come together, in a different level. And to say, young opinion for a better or mine, we can do things in a different way with respect.
For the Ghana Blind Union, Nsawan Branch Secretary Mohammed Abdul Rauf says persons with disability must be part of government appointees in assemblies to provide the opportunity to influence decision-making at the local level.
Going forward, we'll plead the government to consider people with disability at least being a representative when it comes to the national appointment or the government appointment.
Speaking at a youth town hall meeting, programs coordinator for YAG, Gifty Boima Apia, encouraged young people to get involved in the upcoming district level elections, stressing that their voices are vital to building a transparent and inclusive democracy. She emphasised the importance of youth participation in governance and accountability so as to play a more active role in shaping its implementation.
This project is basically aimed at increasing education or sensitizing young people on democratic issues, and also aims to generally build that capacity of young people to be able to hold governments accountable, and then also question decision making, and then ask critical questions when it comes to our civic space. And it's not just about building the capacity of young people. We want them to be able to take up some of these decision making spaces.
Resource persons from the Electoral Commission and National Commission for Civic Education also participated in the engagement, guiding participants through Ghana's electoral processes, civic responsibilities, and the ongoing constitutional review process.
You're watching News Tonight here on GHOne TV. Contrary to earlier reports of a foiled kidnapping attempt at Nswayam in the Takwa Nswayam municipality, police say the two children at the center of the incident have disclosed that they rather sought assistance from the accused, Moses Suli, to cross a road. This was confirmed to EIB Network's Western Regional Correspondent Joseph Kobina Amwa by ASP Beatrice Turkson, PRO for the Western Central Police Command, who noted that the children, in the presence of their parents, narrated the true accounts during police interrogation. Following the revelation, investigators informed the suspect, who is currently in custody, to engage his family to facilitate the bail process.
Was reportedly seen interacting with two school children near the Nivo filling station. A storekeeper suspecting foul play raised the alarm, which led to Suli's arrest by youth with assistance from a female police officer. Preliminary reports indicated the children claimed the suspect had forcibly held one of them, prompting his detention. However, news of the arrest quickly spread, fueling mob action. More than 500 agitated residents stormed the police station, blocked the Takrade-Takwa highway, burning tires and hurling stones while demanding instant justice. 3 police officers and 4 civilians were injured, and parts of the station, including a vehicle and some impounded motorbikes, were vandalized and set ablaze. Police fired warning shots, and military reinforcement was deployed to restore calm. Personnel were evacuated, while suspect Sule was transferred to the Takwa Regional Police Headquarters. According to an assembly member in the area, Daniel Yaupra, heightened public anxiety may have been triggered by the recent discovery of a deceased 6-year-old girl in the community, which has left residents on edge.
On Monday evening, we heard the news that one of our children was missing, so the announcement went on. And on Tuesday in the morning, when the students were going to school, they met a dead body in a chore bus. So the announcement was out, the news was everywhere. So most of the people here rise to their place. So I was in a car going to Takwa when I had a call from a friend that something of this sort has happened in my community. The body was taken to the morgue and we're about to know what actually happened. I was at school when I had a call from the police crime officer that my people are here agitating, that they have arrested a certain man with 2 cases, but they assumed that that man was going to use those children. So the people are demanding for their man so that they can take action.
You're watching News Tonight. We bring you business news next.
The Business Brief is brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
In business this evening, Volkswagen, a global leading automobile company, has marked 5 years of its existence in Ghana. The anniversary, which coincides with the launch of T-Cross, one of the company's models, saw patrons and VW vehicle enthusiasts grace the occasion to celebrate the milestone.
Established in 2020, Volkswagen Ghana was the first automotive company to commence the assembling of vehicles in the country. According to its Chief Executive Officer, Jeffrey Opompepra, some 800 direct jobs have been created in the last 5 years, contributing significantly to Ghana's economic growth.
So far, we have done a 2,600 plus vehicles since 2020 that we start assembling in Ghana. But you shouldn't forget that our plant or our facility in Ghana in Tema is able to manufacture or assemble vehicles 5,000 units capacity per year. But as you all know, there are still policy, there are still also market perception that we are changing from used car to new car, and then also financing, affordability, and all these things. So these are the key drivers that is going to lead us into much more numbers. But of course, we are engaging stakeholders to see how we can unlock also volume-driven.
Touching on the government's policy of a ban on the importation of salvaged and accidented vehicles, the CEO says a complete ban won't lead to job losses, as some persons try to portray. He therefore urges collaboration for full implementation of the policy.
Of course, we know there's a pushback and all this. It's something we have to It's a transition about that space, moving from used car into a new vehicle. A collaboration or a joint stakeholders engagement, government, the public, of course, that is where the consumption is, to say we want to shift from a used car, which we don't even have history about them. Most of them are damaged vehicles that put together and all this. Someone will argue that you are taking people's job. No, you better join this movement or this path that we are taking, because we are creating jobs.
Some features of the newly launched T-Cross include IQ Drive, a comprehensive safety suite that includes adaptive cruise control with stop and go lane assist, front assist with pedestrian and cyclist motoring, and a proactive occupant protection system. Autonomous emergency braking front assist, which helps prevent accidents. A 1.0-litre 3-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine, among others. Other VW models assembled in Ghana include the Vetis, Tiguan Allspace, Terramont, Touareg, and Amarok.
Away from the automotive sector, let's turn to mining. Contributing to government's plans to indigenize the mining industry, efforts are underway to improve the recovery of Prestia Sankofa Gold Limited. The mining tailings company in the Prestia-Huni Valley municipality is expecting to scale up its gold recovery from the present 50,000 kg beginning 2026. This was disclosed by the managing director of Prestia Sankofa Gold Limited, Alhaji Isaac Dauda, during a media session.
Prestia Sankofa Gold Mine Limited, owned by GMPC, is a gold mining company extracting gold mainly from old tailings and waste ore dumped as a result of 100 years of mining activity in the Prestia Gold Belt. However, its profitability has been declining. As such, management has re-strategized on how to turn around the company to improve their production. During a media visit to the facility, the MD revealed efforts targeted at bringing on the new improved tailings dam by the end of December to augment the existing one, which is now full of its holding capacity.
This is a new dam that we are constructing. And then these beautiful things that you see around, we must be able to complete this by the end of December. And we started about how many months ago? About 6-7 months ago. We hope to complete this by December so that the previous one that was full, in fact, it was creating a lot of problems for us, ordinary ones that you see. This one will have geotextiles so that even when there's any amount of leakage, it doesn't get to the soil.
The managing director also noted that currently All its processing plants have been refurbished to help considerably boost its production capacity. He added that as part of its sustainability efforts, the company has procured its own concession to scale up production.
Most of the tanks are very old, so we have decided to, you have seen work going on there. But this time we are not taking everything together and we are not shutting down. So what we are doing is that if we drain tank 8, there are 8 tanks, so we drain one of them, refurbish it, hand it over, and then, continue it like that until we'll finish. That one too is supposed to end in December. And then when we are able to finish with this refurbishment, it also increase our production by 50%. Tailings that we are buying, at a point in time, it won't be sustainable. So definitely, you need your concession to be able to mine the hard rock.
And that's all the business news. Tonight, we've got sports news next.
The Business Brief was brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
In sports tonight, Black Queens attacker and WAFCON bronze medalist Chantel Boy-Loka has revealed that her nationality switch from England to Ghana was an easy decision to make because she always had Ghana on her mind, although she represented England. The Nottingham Forest forward, who revealed this in an exclusive interview with EIB Sports, says it's a privilege to play for the Black Queens and she will repay the faith imposed in her.
I think Ghana's always been, even when I was there, Ghana's always been in the back of my mind. It's always been something that I've known I can play for. But obviously my dad wasn't in the picture when I was younger, so my mum is English and I grew up in England, so it's natural for me to go through the English roots. But then when Ghana's came asking for me, it's a hard decision to just turn away from when you're wanted that much by somebody. It's a privilege to be a part of this nation anyway. So to wear the badge and to give back the respect what they've given me and the belief is amazing.
Well, now let's head to the Ghana Premier League, where coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko Abdul Karim Zito has urged his players to move on from the disappointment of getting knocked out of the CAF Confederations Cup and focus on the Ghana Premier League. Kotoko suffered a 6-1 aggregate scoreline against African giants Wydad Athletic Club in a competition. But Zito wants his players to leave that behind and focus on Karela United, who they will face on Sunday in Kumasi.
Well, it wasn't easy, but we have to recover because it's part of the moment, and then we are out of it. We should face the reality and then come and prepare well for the league if we want to go back again. So you can't be crying whereas the league is still going on. By now, I think the executives came and then the IMC chairman came, talked to them, I also talked to them. So far, so good. We are working towards the league. Well, I think my first option is the league we are going to play on Sunday, before thinking about the other game, which is one of the biggest in the country, because Hassan Kotoko is different issue altogether. Now let's face the current.
And that's all the sports news we've got for you tonight. International news is next. Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu Hassan has been re-elected with a staggering 97.6% of the vote. The Electoral Commission announced on Saturday, following a contentious election marked by the absence of major opposition candidates, reported low voter turnout and days of violent protest. The final results declaring Hassan the winner 3 days after polls closed, confirms that what many had anticipated in an election where her main rivals were disqualified or imprisoned months earlier. The outcome delivers her a first elected term after she initially ascended to the presidency in 2021, following the death of her predecessor, GHOne Magufuli. The election took place without the participation of the country's two main opposition parties, whose leaders were barred from the race. Do visit our website, that's starfm.com.gh. We've got lots more local and international stories there. Many thanks to you for making the time to watch News Tonight this evening. It was produced by Nanama Aqua and Calvin Powell. I'm Natalie Fort. Have a wonderful evening.